GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
Jordan started recording.
Listen up, please!
I'm glad you're here.
Mind orgasms and fantasies.
By the way, I want to say something that I absolutely love.
The back of my head may or may not look like a pug.
Somebody's misguided. The younger generation.
If you can wipe your own ass, then the other guy gets shot.
And I don't know that you notice it, but I do.
We found out who we truly are, which is a bunch of assholes.
Most of the time it's because I'm turned away from you.
Why did you buy the vibrating strap-on pillow?
But there's something that I absolutely love.
Oh, I couldn't be happier.
Now, there was a time when we had to hide and we had to be quiet.
Right now, he's wearing a tinfoil hat.
Have you ever heard the term misguided? I've been misguided.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome to episode number 28 of Misguided Musings. On this week's episode, we are doing a Halloween-themed dance around your brain. Is that? No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, no.
Don't do it.
My horse is amazing. Give it a lick. Of a stroke of its
At least it's
wing,
one
it
I know.
turns into a plane, and then it turns back again when you tug on its wing.
Ooh, that's dirty! Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Sweet lemonade, sweet lemonade.
Oh, boy.
Alright, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I just couldn't resist.
All right, so...
I lied. I'm gonna do it again, but later.
I really wish you wouldn't. I mean...
I'm happy I like that one. That's right, we're here with all your topical Flash animation. No. I was fine with looking at my horse.
Oh,
Apple
man.
pen!
Oh, boy. All right, so, come on!
We're not just watching YouTube with you. That's not what we're doing. We're not endorsed by them. Do not give children vehicles. That's a
I'll tell you
horrible
right
idea.
now, I don't care what charity they're involved with, but I want it to go out of business tomorrow.
They do have cars for kids. It's called a van, and we keep quiet about it.
Oh, man.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
I'm sorry.
So, welcome to the episode.
God damn it. This is...
Eventually, we are going to have to get to the show, guys. I know we're trying to stall because we don't have any material, but...
It's the one episode Matt's not here, we go off the rails. Is Matt really holding this whole thing together?
Oh, boy. All right. That's it. Game over. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Misguided Musings.
Welcome to the show.
You can follow us on Twitter at Musing Podcast. I am at Muse Knuckle. Sarge is at Bastard Prophet. And Jesse is at H African J. That's African J. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Misguided Musings. And you can also find us on our website at www.misguidedmusings.com. So, as I began to say before we went into like 2 minutes of fuckery, we are going to be doing a Halloween episode tonight. We're going to do Halloween themed 3 assholes, 3 empty threats. We're going to do one classic, one new, and one shitty redo. And then we're going to start this episode off, though, by talking about a little trip that we're sending our good friend Lawrence on.
We're good at giving patience.
Yeah, this is not so much paid vacation as we wanted him to go trick-or-treating. So, I guess what we'll do is...
Let's not give away too much because Lawrence might be listening.
Yeah.
If you want to hear a grown, effeminate man trick-or-treat, tune in.
Yeah, tune in next episode.
By the way, we've told Lawrence that he will be trick-or-treating with us. Whether that happens is what being assholes
Well, we
about.
said he would be trick-or-treating with one of us.
Yeah,
we didn't specify which one of us.
To be fair, a member of the show will be trick-or-treating with Lawrence.
Yeah, we didn't. Theoretically, we did not lie to him.
No, we didn't. Larry's gonna, someone from the show.
You also might hear next episode, it might be a Larry episode, Larry heavy, unfortunately for us, but we've also had Larry call in to Get Ready America and talk with their foreign correspondent Sanjay, and so you'll hear audio from that, and that might be this episode later on. We'll see how we feel about it, but
that might also be Larry's last episode with us.
Yeah, we're not sure how he's going to handle that. We've also found Larry's brother, and he might be making an appearance closer to Christmas time, so also keep an eye out for Larry's brother.
It might either be that, or it may be a special bonus episode just for you listeners.
We were also going to try and have Larry call into Better Live Than Dead, but they tend to not answer few months.
They're better live than surprisingly still dead. So,
well, there was that one episode.
Yeah,
there was the one episode.
Like recently, right? Like, that was like a couple months ago. No, anyway.
Yeah, I guess it was the equivalent. It was like a Terry Schiavo moan. Every time she moaned, they were like, "See, she still feels emotion." And I'm like,
"It was just a gasp.
She's still dead."
Just a.
It was kind of like that episode of MASH when Radar comes in and he's like, "Colonel Prodder's plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean. There were no survivors. Only, it
a
was
sports
their
podcast
show with much fewer fans."
But don't forget to listen to Football Talk Weekly, Turnbuckle Talk.
Get Ready America.
Yep, Get Ready America. In the other fine programming on the Gear Radio Network. So
pretty much all of them, but Better Live Than Dead.
I mean, it's just because they're so infrequent, it's hard to subscribe. So anyway, we're gonna kick this. We're gonna kick this off. We're gonna do one classic, one new, and one shitty redo, and this is where we take our favorite terrible Halloween movie. Wow, I just had a stroke. Let's try that again.
There are two good ones and one shitty one.
Again. So we're gonna do our favorite classic, our favorite new movie, and then one that we would like to burn and forever erase from the movie archives. So let's go with Sarge's first, and then we'll move right along.
So how are we going to do this? We're going to just each do the old one, each do the new one?
No. Just give us all.
Okay.
Just all three, and then we'll kind of talk.
All right. So my classic is an amazing movie. It is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't think
Leatherface.
I just as far as the slasher genre goes, there really aren't many better movies. As poorly made as it was, and how dated it looks now, it's still so fucking creepy. It's just so creepy. It's good for a couple of jump scares, but honestly, it's the creep factor that gets it, man. The guy in the wheelchair, all the dead, all the bones everywhere. Oh my god, it still gets me every time I think about it.
Plus, it's in Texas. That place is fucking scary on its own.
Exactly. And then for new, it's The Conjuring. And I don't know if you've seen it. It's not super new, but when I say new, I mean new era of the Renaissance. Yeah, the Renaissance of horror movies that's around right now. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. I won't give away much of the movie, but I'll tell you, you guys have seen it, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. You're gonna get this reference. Every fucking time I squeal like a little bitch. Every Halloween, I have some friends over. We have a fire in my fire pit. We set up my tablet and we watch a movie outside. And we always watch The Conjuring first and then whatever else is out there. One time we watched this movie called Frankenstein's Army. If you're looking to laugh a lot, that's a great horror movie to watch. If you are looking to be scared, it is a terrible horror movie to watch, especially because they have like a retro 1940s R2-D2 in it. But anyway,
Yes.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but definitely not
R2-D2
scary.
and Frankenstein fighting? That'd be great.
Well, no, that's the thing that sucks about it. So anyway, The Conjuring, I gotta tell you, I fucking love that movie. Even though it's got those charlatans, Ed and Lorraine Warren in it, it's still a great movie, still really scary. I absolutely love it. All right, so I've fanboyed out. Now for my shitty redo. This is going to be a controversial one, but I'm going to stick by my guns here. The new Dawn of the Dead with Ving Rhames and Sarah Polley. I mean, basically, it's got the guy who isn't Michael Clark Duncan and the woman who isn't Reese Witherspoon in it. It is not in any way scary. I don't understand.
I disagree.
I don't understand
It's a good movie.
Why they had to remake a George Romero movie whose iconic slow-walking zombies were a staple of the franchise with fast zombies. That's not fucking zombies. That's goddamn friggin' rabies with herpes on top. It's not scary. It's stupid. Zombies aren't supposed to run. They're fucking dead. Where'd they suddenly get all this muscle mass from?
It's a lot of energy
Imagine
to
how
burn,
scary
too.
The Walking Dead would be if they had to sprint.
They're not eating anything.
I mean,
That's
there's,
why they're
there's
walking.
no caloric intake there.
Yes, they're only
No,
eating
scientifically
brains.
it makes no
yes.
sense.
It's somehow it is less believable than a bunch of slow walking zombies. And that's why I didn't like it, because it just suspended disbelief. Yes, it was scary, but jump scares are always scary. You can have a movie with Steve Martin and you keep throwing shit at him, it's eventually going to scare you at least once.
And literally anybody running at you is scary.
Yes.
Dude in a suit running full
Especially
sprint
because
at
they
you is still going to be off-putting.
Yeah, and especially because they speed them up so they're moving faster. That's why it's scary. It's not scary because they're particularly frightening. The idea that makes zombies scary is even how slow and dumb they are, you get a little complacent and they're going to fucking get you. That's why I like zombie movies.
All right, I'll accept
Good
it.
choice.
Jesse, why don't you hit this next one?
All right, for my classic, I was a little loose with it. I included 2 movies, but I feel it's justified because the time limit of those 2, they pick up right where they leave. Is Hellraiser 1 and 2. Hellraiser is one of those movies like not a ton of people still talk about. Everybody loves Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Mike Myers, all those slasher. Hellraiser, man, fucking chains coming out.
I got to
everywhere.
agree. Hellraiser was a good movie. The Hellraiser 1 and 2 were good. They got a little shitty near the end, but the first 2 were really good.
Yeah, the first 2 were like a complete story. It was like beginning and end. They didn't need to go past those.
Yeah,
2.
Pinhead is terrifying.
Really good.
He's just a good evil
And the
character.
Cenobites. Yeah, and the Cenobites. Oh my god.
And it's that old school horror movie where they used just like realistic effects, no CG or anything.
Agreed.
So when you see like hooks going into flesh, it's just like, oh, it looks so real and awful and very painful. And all right, so my new one, I went with Adam Green's Hatchet. Have you guys ever seen this movie?
No, but I've heard of it.
It was made by a guy who was he was an ex-Newberry Comics employee. And it's a throwback to these old slashers. The main killer is played by Kane Hodder, the guy who used to play Jason Voorhees. And it's just the bloodiest movie you could ever see that's a slasher flick. But the best part of it is half the movie is done like a comedy. Like they just write it like it's a normal straight up comedy, and then when the killer shows up, you're like, "Oh shit, I forgot it was a horror movie."
That's great.
Because the first kill is literally they're making a bunch of jokes. You've been laughing with these characters the whole time, and then the killer comes out in full sprint and rips a man's head in half from like the jaw up. Like he reaches in the person's mouth and just pulls it apart. And you're like, "Oh, it's a horror movie. I forgot about it."
That's great.
And it's a good movie. And my shitty remake that I would like burn and destroy it forever is Nightmare on Elm Street. What the fuck?
You know the thing?
Go
ahead.
No, they took a great movie. And the best part was Freddy Krueger would joke around the whole time, and they just hire the creepy guy from Watchmen.
Hey, look.
Took all the fun
I
out of
support
it.
almost everything that you're saying, but don't you ever talk bad about Jackie Earle Haley.
I will not talk bad about Jackie Earle Haley. He's just not Freddy Krueger.
No, he's not.
He wasn't funny.
He's also
zero
not Ernest
charm.
Borgnine, so.
No.
He's not.
I'm putting it out there. If we're just going to start comparing him to random people.
I was comparing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Jackie Earle Haley deserves a little bit more than that.
He's a fucking amazing actor. I'll give him that.
I will give him that too. He was the best part of the Watchmen movie.
And I know it sounds ridiculous to say this, but like I am very, very excited that he is like back because he's such a good creepy actor. I don't know if you've seen him.
He is very.
Have you
creepy.
seen him in Preacher?
I haven't seen Preacher.
Oh god, you got to watch it. It's so good. But he is really good in it. He's really good in everything he's done. You know, honestly, if you thought about the Freddy Krueger movies,
he just keeps doing bad remakes.
But if you thought about the Freddy Krueger, no, I mean, what are the remakes has he done?
He did RoboCop, the new RoboCop.
Yeah, but like he makes sense in that movie. It's just a bad movie.
Bad movie.
But that's the thing with Jackie Earle Haley. He's an amazing actor who's just done terrible movies.
Yeah, and it's just the Nightmare on Elm Street like took anything enjoyable out of the first.
The only thing I can say about that though
it.
is if you didn't have the first Nightmare on Elm Street series, and then you had Jackie Earle Haley, it still would have been a shit movie, but it would have been a little bit better because he was pretty good in it. He just, the subject matter didn't make sense. It's like doing a gritty reboot of a Charlie Brown movie. It doesn't make any sense.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Charlie snaps after one too many footballs is pulled away from
He
him.
just stabs Lucy in the throat.
Yeah.
I could see him with 2 machine guns, John Rambo style, just going, "Arr!"
Oh,
That noise
okay.
you would make.
We went off the rails there, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, we just described a very Charlie Brown school shooting.
You know what? It's funny. Is the first thing that went into my head was Columbine, and I was like, "That's in poor taste." Leave it to
You know
Jesse.
what the first thing that went into their head was?
Jesse.
2-2-3 rounds.
Nope.
Oh. You made it real.
Why'd you have to specify caliber?
All right,
but
so
no,
let's,
that was sad.
yeah,
Don't laugh about that.
let's
That
just go to mine.
rescind all your laughs.
Leave it to Sarge to actually go like, well, the actual caliber they'd probably use. You get the best spray out
I
of this
don't
one.
think it was 2-2-3. I'm pretty sure it was 9 mil. So continue.
Well, the best way to kill somebody is double-aught buck. I mean, you just want to rip them in half. Like, what the fuck, dude?
You need a 30-30 if you're gonna make any kind of dent. All right.
Sidebar, you can fill shotgun shells with anything. Why not throw fish hooks in them? I do.
Oh, shit. You ever shoot someone with a tube of quarters? Fucking
You ever want to feel like a Resident Evil hero?
Jesus.
Oh man.
Let me tell you something. D batteries go through a man just as good as any bullet I've ever seen. Fuck, dude.
Well, the battery acid definitely inspires infection, so that's good.
Oh, boy. All right, so,
Yeah, I had to break it down to logistics again.
Can't help it.
Actually, that would make some good ammo.
okay, so, I looked at mine. The first movie that I'm going to go with is my old, which is one of my classic, which is The Evil Dead. It was just a creepy fucking movie.
Are you talking about the first one and the second one, or them in like conjunction, them together?
I'm going to go with just the even together.
The first one's more
They're
of a horror
basically
movie,
the
yeah.
same movie, really. Just one's a little bit funnier and better. You know, like it's got better special effects.
I don't know. It's just a fucking creepy movie. That's all I know. I remember watching it and just being fucking.
It's scary.
Yeah, dude,
it's fucking scary. I agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was actually
Sam Raimi's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was you and our older brother who made me watch this the first time. So
Well, yeah. I mean, you had to watch it. It was like it's like part of living in suburbia as a white kid.
yeah, man.
Well, and they had those horrifying claymation effects
Yes,
of the creatures,
yes.
like
Yes.
Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Ugh.
That-
You fucking.
And I will say, in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that Large Marge scene like stuck with me for years.
yeah.
I was like, why was that in that?
Yes. Yeah, I love Large Marge. Tell him Large Marge.
So when I saw and it looked like this, and you're like, oh Jesus, what the fuck? Who hired Sam Raimi for this?
Oh man. Yeah, I remember that scene. That was the weirdest boner I ever got.
And when you watch The Evil Dead, like all the monsters in that are like in that
Yep.
style, and you're like, yeah, that's severely unsettling.
You know what other movie had really great claymation? While we're on the topic, scary movie that had great claymation, The Gate.
never saw it.
You guys ever see that?
Never saw The
So
Gate.
it's way before your time. This is back when you could still call somebody a fag and it wouldn't be offensive. Not that I'm hearkening back to those days. It's good that we
Not a
don't.
better time.
But no.
It's not.
So, but
Debatable. No, debatable.
No,
it had
don't
it
think
had
it's
a young Steven Dorff. He was a child in the movie, so he was about the same height as he is now. And he and his friend found this book, and they conjured evil, basically, out of his backyard. And there's like a claymation monster scene. There's this other scene where like his parents go away, and that's when they conjure evil. And his sister invites her boyfriend over. And this is so Steven Dorff like gets mad at his sister's boyfriend. He's like, "Why don't you go fag off?" So like they didn't even use the word in the
it's
proper
a verb.
context.
He used it as a verb.
Yeah. So anyway, there's this one scene where the phone rings and it's his parents, and they're like, "We're outside." And he he goes outside and his parents are coming in. He runs over to hug them because he's like super scared because all the scary stuff's happening. And his parents pick him up, and his dad's like, "You've been bad." And his like face starts melting, but it's really fucking creepy. The kid runs in the house, the phone rings. He answers the phone goes like, "You've been bad," and then the phone starts melting. Oh my god, man. Fucking scary as shit when you're a little kid.
So you know what else
Terrifying.
had great
everything
claymation was Wallace and Gromit do Debbie Does Dallas.
It was not as scary, but I loved the clay comb. They did a great job.
Yeah,
with
they
it.
did. They really did. Pearl necklaces for everyone. It was awesome.
Agreed.
So my new movie, I actually had a tough time picking between the two. One, not necessarily a scary movie, but more of like one of those thriller, like suspense movies, which is why I had to throw it in there. So, Saw 2, obviously, was my first one. And the one, like,
That's the one where he throws her in the
Yes.
swimming pool full of needles?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I mean, just oh man, all
I've
I can
always
think
had
about
the biggest crush on that actress, too.
it was Eliza Dushku.
But also, there,
No.
They
It
were
wasn't
glass
Eliza
needles,
Dushku,
too.
It was Shawnee something.
Whoever,
Her name's
yeah,
Shawnee, but I forget what her last name
both
is.
of them, they look a lot alike.
But man, she's a fucking smoke show.
Absolutely, but yeah, man, just
When she got thrown into that
When
bed
they-
of needles,
yeah.
I just thought to myself, like, for a brief second, I'd still do it.
when they pull her out and you got like the needles sticking in her skin, man. Ugh, that. And then I think that was the one with the reverse bear trap, right?
Yeah, I think so.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
it never
know.
went off.
Yep.
It didn't go off till like the last movie.
Yeah, the reverse bear trap. It just thought of
it.
the thought of that. I don't know. The first couple Saw movies were I think probably like some of the best newer like horror movies, but one of those movies that's kind of like that weird like thriller suspense movie that I, for some reason, anytime I see it, I stop and watch it. Is Identity with John Cusack.
Oh, really?
That's
Was it
a
scary?
really good movie.
I never saw that.
It wasn't necessarily
I'll have to watch it
scary, but
Very
yeah, like
suspenseful.
there's a storm and all these people get stuck in a hotel in Nevada, and like the road gets washed away, and so people start dying off, and John Cusack plays this federal agent who's got to like figure out what's happening, and there's a huge twist at the end of the fucking movie, and it blew my fucking mind. I was
It does.
holy shit, dude. I was fucking so blown away by it. So anytime I see this movie on TV, I have to stop and watch it. It's just one of those like
John Cusack's got a thing about hotel movies. Didn't he do that Stephen King film?
It's because he did Identity, and then he was like, I can really good
yeah,
hotel
yeah.
movies.
No,
I'm gonna single-handedly bring the hotel business down, man.
I love John Cusack as an actor. I think he's like, like a lot of his deadpan movies I think are still probably my favorite. Gross Point Blank is easily one of my favorite movies. But
And you can't possibly
I've
go
still
wrong
never seen that.
with High Fidelity,
Say Anything.
One Crazy Summer.
Yes, yep. They're all
and
fucking great.
Better
and
Off Dead.
They're all and what was the one with the foreign exchange shooting? Was that Better Off Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Great.
Yep.
Yeah. What was the one where he skied?
That was
wasn't
Better Off Dead.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, that was all the same.
There was a lot packed into that movie. There was a lot in that movie. Sorry
Yeah.
I blew up your mom, Ricky. So great. I love that movie.
Yeah. So Saw 2 and Identity were I was torn between the two of them. Just because of the twist ending to Identity fucking blew my mind. And then my shitty remake, I don't know how this even got cast, but Nicolas Cage in Wicker Man, you took a great movie and you just turned it into dog shit, so...
You know what? The thing that kills
Not the
me...
bees! Oh,
the thing about Nicolas Cage is that he's terrible in a lot of movies, but he's also good in a lot of movies, and it breaks my heart. Like, you watch Raising Arizona, he's a fucking genius in that movie. Why can't he be like that in all of his movies, where, like, you don't realize you're watching Nicolas Cage?
He was great in Con Air. I thought that was a great movie.
Yes!
The Wicker Man is a horror movie in which Nicolas Cage punches a woman in the face while in a bear suit.
Yep, that's exactly
Yes. These are all problems with Nicolas Cage films. I feel like punching a woman in a bear suit is basically like a summary for how I feel about every Nicolas Cage movie
still
that he's done
really-
in like the last
And he
20
has
years.
He has a comedically long jog up a hill before he punches
I
the woman in
still
the face.
really regret the fact that they never made him Superman, because I really wanted to see what that was going to be like.
There's a great documentary.
That's a great documentary.
There's a great documentary
But
about
still,
it.
it's not. I wanted to see the whole movie as him as Superman.
You know what? Actually, speaking of great documentaries, while we're on the subject of great documentaries, the documentary about Anthony Weiner was on last night, and I sat down and watched it.
Because why not?
Dude, there is literally not a
Yeah.
sadder, more pathetic fucking man on earth. He literally cannot do anything but fuck up. And there's this one scene where, like, it's the very end of the movie, and he like loses the election for mayor, and he flips off a paparazzi, and they get a picture of it and post it on the news, and he's standing in his apartment. And poor Huma Abedin, I don't think I'd ever feel sorry for this woman until I watched this movie. She's sitting at the table eating pizza, and just like looking at the pizza, shaking her head, And Anthony Weiner's like, man, I just can't do anything but fuck up. And the guy who's directing the movie off camera is like, why have you let me film all this? And, and Anthony Weiner just shrugs and shakes his head. It's so good.
Is this on Netflix?
It's on Netflix and it's on Showtime on demand.
Oh,
dude,
God.
It's called
have
Wiener.
to watch
What's it called?
It's called Wiener. And the thing is, it's
why
actually a
wouldn't it
really
be?
great documentary because you see like just what a terrible person he is in general. He's like a Charles Bukowski character.
I love those
Yeah.
really human moments in documentaries. It's like my girlfriend's now just watching Making a Murderer for the first time, and my favorite part is when that idiot sketch artist is just like, it couldn't have been the Gregory Allen. He's like, my drawing looks more like Stephen Avery than it does Gregory Allen.
Oh.
And just admits that, yeah, he fucked his thing up. And they're just like, yeah, exactly. That's why you're in here.
Oh man, it's so good. The whole movie's great. And like there's all these moments where like he just does really terrible things. And like the camera guy's like, well, the director's trying to ask him questions, and at one point like he calls him out and he's like, aren't you supposed to be a fly in the wall? You've never heard a fly in the wall talk before. It's so good. Yeah, Anthony Weiner's just a terrible person. But like the worst part is he's a terrible human being, but he's a fantastic politician. Like they show some debates that he's in, and he's actually really, really good. He's just a dipshit. Like he can't stop taking pictures of his dick.
He can't stop taking pictures of his dick that he took a picture of his dick in bed with
The
his
last
teeth.
thing I'm thinking about when I'm in bed with one of my children trying to get him to go to sleep is my dick.
How to have a PC Halloween.
Hey, Twami, you know it's a spooky time of year right now. Dave, you can't say that. It sounds like a derogatory term. What? Because it sounds like Exactly, to be taken out of context. Hey, Twami. Dave, that's offensive. It's bullying. Besides, someone can see it as a derogatory term. Lesbians use that for their girlfriend. Dude, I'm a lesbian. I love carving a pumpkin before eating the puree. Steve, you can't be carving a pumpkin. It's a devil's squash. It's heresy. Carve a cucumber instead. Twami, your ideology is whacked, but I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't mind carving a pickle. Ooh, now you're being tolerant.
This was brought to you by the Advocacy for a Politically Correct Halloween. Put on those leather chaps, boys.
Welcome back to the episode. Sorry that we left you thinking about Sarge's penis. Nobody wants to do that, not even his wife.
That's true. She doesn't.
So, let's pick this up where we left off. We are going to continue on with our Halloween episode. Here is What the Hell America Halloween edition. So, a blank woman. Hold on, there it is. Yeah, actually, Halloween prank in blank prompts 911 calls and CPR attempts.
I'm gonna say Iowa.
I'm gonna go Missouri.
Halloween prank in Detroit.
God damn it.
Prompts 911 calls and CPR attempts. A dummy placed face down in a Detroit woman's front yard as a Halloween prank has prompted repeated visits by the police. I guess the question that I have is, how come the police didn't just have like a sticky note that says, don't go here when calls come in? I mean,
Right?
just put it,
Yeah.
I mean, repeat it. So, Laretha Hayden says the police showed up on Tuesday, and then again on Wednesday, and then again on Thursday.
Why weren't the police like, hey, this has got to go. Well, this is a public safety
Well, it's a
issue. You need to put this
Halloween
inside.
direction.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, if the police got to show up the third time, they'd be like, okay, all right, Karen, it's time to put the dummy away.
Did you know her name is Laretha?
I
It's
can't
not the
pronounce
parent.
that.
It's not the cop's fault that her neighbors are stupid.
So she says she puts the dummy on face down in different locations in her yard every morning, and she likes to watch the reactions from people
Well,
as
there's
they
the
walk
problem.
by.
Stop putting it in different places.
So, but she says some people have attempted CPR, and once they find out it's a dummy, they have hilarious reactions.
How dumb are you that you're doing CPR in a dummy?
Who's the dummy now?
I will definitely share.
I tried to
out
avoid the
this-
dad joke, but you win.
I will definitely share out
won't
the scoop, the news story, so you can see what the dummy looks like, because it doesn't even resemble a person. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Weird. I have this weird thing coming up in here. A blank teen self-inflicts mouth cut
I'm going to say Clearwater, Florida.
after claiming razor blade and Halloween candy. Why would you give a city? All you need to do is just
Because
just guess a
Clearwater,
state.
Florida is just the apex of bad Florida things.
It
I just read a
sounds
story.
needy.
I just read a news story about a woman who set the wrong car on fire in Clearwater, Florida. She thought she was burning her boyfriend's car, and it was his neighbor. Clearly not a great relationship if you didn't even recognize his car.
Well, that news story sounds like a needy thing. So I'm gonna go for the capital of needy. I'm gonna California for needy people.
A 16-year-old Western Pennsylvania girl who reported finding a razor blade in her bubblegum.
You know, I'm starting
Made
to
up the
see a
incident.
trend. I think Pennsylvania is the Florida of the North.
Well, they contain Philadelphia, which is just the worst human beings. in
These are
America.
facts. These are facts.
So this girl was dumb enough, 16 years old. This happened. Hold on, I just need to make sure we have a date on this. This happened last year, so she'll be voting for the president in the very next election on 2020. So
I'm sure she'll make a terrific
that's
decision.
awesome.
That
I
shows how
cannot
like
wait.
that reminds me how callous like we were where we grew up in Quincy. Because I remember we found out that when we were about 16, a girl tried to kill herself, and we found out we were like, oh, but she went across the street, not down the road, so she's just asking for attention. Like we it's a depression.
So
we were like, she didn't even do it right.
This
so,
girl,
she didn't want to go.
This girl self-inflicted these. She stuck a razor in her mouth and then chewed because it took 23 stitches to close it. Now she goes as the Joker and she has a perfect costume. Heath Ledger's Joker is just
Dedication
perfect.
to the craft.
That's like the worst episode of HBO's Fear Factor. Like,
could you imagine trying
HBO had Fear Factor?
no, I'm just saying if Fear Factor moves to HBO, they're like, now you're gonna chew 6 razor blades because I'm Joe Rogan. I'll fight you if you don't.
Nice.
I just feel bad
that's
for
my Joe
all of her
Rogan
sexual
impression.
partners going forward because I don't know that I would want.
I think there'll be more room, honestly.
She just cuts the frenulum under the tongue and she's like, cool, let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Ew, that's a word? Frenulum?
Yeah, that's like, it's the
Frenulum?
piece
I
of
don't
skin.
like that word.
It's
Don't
the piece
ever
of
say that
skin
again.
under your tongue that connects your tongue to
That's
your...
right up there with moist and panties is the two words I hate the most.
What, moist?
Yes, and panties. I hate
Moist
the word
isn't such a bad
panties.
word, but jugular is pretty offensive to some people.
Sopping's worse. Sopping's
It's okay, my
way
wife
worse
doesn't
than
listen to
moist.
this podcast.
Sopping is the worst.
Yeah. Very specific form of moisture.
Ugh.
Yeah,
No, the
try it
worst
next-
word- the
you know
worst
what? Try it
word-
on your wives next time. Just be like, baby, tonight we're gonna get in bed. I'm gonna get you sopping.
No, the worst word without question is panties. I don't know why it bothers me that much, but it's the worst fucking word.
No, that doesn't
No.
bother me so much.
I had this 50-year-old boss. She was this like super nice, like old-fashioned woman. She used to say things like, ladies don't swear. And she was like very prim and proper. One day she said the word panties and I almost threw up.
I think it's just that one person you don't let
No.
saying
Ever
panties, 'cause
since
britches is
ever
far
since,
worse. than
I'm
a-
not okay with that word. My daughter said it once and I nearly locked her in a room. Like,
Oh,
you're
that explains
grounded
why
for a
you
week.
don't- yeah. Sexy things lose their luster when because you're like, no!
Yeah, I mean, I can't go to strip clubs anymore. I'm like, oh,
Listen, can we
look
just-
at you.
let's-
You've got
all
a
right,
Hello Kitty
if we're-
tattoo. My
if
daughter
we're
would
gonna-
love that.
If we're gonna do this, I'm pretty sure panties are probably not the sexiest thing ever. In fact, lingerie is probably the most gross thing if you really think about it. Because I mean, let's look at thongs real quick. That's sitting up someone's ass crack all day.
Yeah, thongs bother me. I don't understand why women think that's sexy for men. And they
I
don't
wonder why
always.
you guys don't
They
find it
always.
sexy.
I love no. I think
But
I think
sometimes
it's great to
I
look
know-
at,
I
but
know
I don't
women
want it
wear
anywhere
thongs.
near my body.
Well, I know women don't, they wear thongs because it doesn't give them a panty line when they're wearing especially tight clothing. But a thong is disgusting because it literally sits in between your butt crack. Now, granted, I know most women, not all, most women aren't as hairy as I am, but I still feel like it's going to smell. There's going to be a smell there when it comes out.
I'm gonna quote
Do you
Jim
not
Norton.
wash your
He
asshole?
said,
I do, but that doesn't matter because I'm a 240-pound Norwegian and it's about 70 degrees in Massachusetts right now. So there's going to be some sweat and there's going to be a stink. Things are going to smell.
Got it.
well, I will say, I'll quote Jim Norton on that. If you really want to show your love, fuck flowers and candy, eat her asshole after a...
Huh. Nope, not going to do it.
Not a thing that you're gonna do?
No, I feel like that's going to smell a lot like awful.
Like awful.
Yeah, there's nothing funny about that. I was going to come up with a punch, didn't have one. Gross.
It's just hard.
Gross.
Like, you just sounded
So-
more scared than you were. That's an interesting line. That would.
I was
never
trying to
happen.
hold
You
back
just-
a throw up.
You thought
I was
about it,
I
and
was
were legitimately
I had a
concerned.
pre-throw up. I was trying to hold it back.
Jesse thinks
I was expecting
Jesse thinks,
a laugh for one of you.
No.
Jesse
Nothing.
thinks
No.
true love is
Nothing.
Jesse thinks true love is eating a woman's asshole after she's had 2 chili dogs.
That's a great
Oh, no.
game of Russian roulette right there.
That is a game.
Actually, I
of
guess that
Russian
would be more like Brazilian roulette.
She comes home and she's like, "Honey, I had Taco Bell." And Jesse's like, "Yes."
Let's get in there.
It's race
Let me get
time.
in there.
Oh God, no!
I'm gonna
No,
open you
I'm
up
just
like
gonna
a book.
Clarify that.
All right, so let's get to this last one because this is really
It
fucking.
brings a whole new definition to Funkin' Wagnalls, huh?
I didn't think we could go off the rails anymore.
So, Civil War Museum features severed arm for Halloween.
I'm gonna say South Carolina.
I'm gonna say Virginia.
They love their Civil War museum down there.
Frederick, Maryland.
What? Maryland's barely a state. Come on.
Yeah, well, the National Museum of Civil War Medicine is there, so...
Even to Maryland to have the most boring part of the Civil War as a museum.
Here's all the stuff that didn't work then.
Yeah, they're featuring a well-preserved human arm from the Antietam battle as part of a Halloween event. The officials released the information as forensic and historical investigations of the limb. It was donated to the museum in 2012 after having been displayed for decades as a roadside attraction near Sharpsburg. So, I can only imagine that the signs for that read something like "World's Oldest Dead Arm." The researchers
High five history.
the researchers haven't identified the male owner of the arm, but says he's dead.
He probably didn't make it. He did not make it through the Civil War if he was missing an arm.
They know his approximate age and region of origin. The museum officials have speculated the arm was from a soldier's body or by a bullet or...
I would fucking hope it was a soldier's body and not just some random
No,
dude.
I'm sorry. The museum... Sorry, I misread that. Museum officials have speculated the arm was torn from the soldier's body by a bullet or artillery round.
Oh, okay. That's pretty awesome. That's badass.
The theory about the arm's history is that a farmer found the limb after the Battle of Antietam. He put it in a jar with some brine, and 6 months later had a pickle. He did give it to a surgeon who then kept it in formaldehyde since 1862.
And then someone bought it in a store.
Apparently, this newspaper reports that the limb has been dubbed the arm of the unknown soldier. If you want to look it up,
That is
The arm of the. That is a horrible name.
that is terrific.
It's not even a good creative name. The arm of the unnamed sold. Ugh.
oh, so this is like on a weird news.
Just call it like Larry.
This is on a weird news page, and one of the fun headlines attached to this article is "Toilet DNA leads to suspect." I just.
Why would you murder someone then drop a log? It's like the ultimate fuck you.
Actually, I was just listening to this this story about Richard Ramirez. He did this one crime where, like, after he killed everybody in the house, he peed in the toilet, he ate a couple of bananas, he hung out, and he, like, made himself at home, and then he left.
Okay, so
Can you
this
imagine
page.
how fucked up as a serial killer you have to be like, nah, I'm gonna stick around.
Hold on. All right, so
Let's
this
see how
page.
this thing turns
This
out.
page no longer exists, but it's from a certain news station, and so I'm going to give you guys a tiebreaker real quick. Anybody want to guess where that headline came out of?
It's gotta be Florida.
God damn it.
Clearwater, Florida.
I'm going to say New Jersey.
Tampa Bay, Sarasota.
Yes!
God damn
It's
it, it had
always
to be
Florida.
It's never
It is.
Florida in these, don't you know? I never try. I try my hardest not to find Florida, and
Yeah,
for some reason
New Jersey and
Pennsylvania always
Pennsylvania are
comes
the
up.
Floridas of the North.
All right, so that was What the Hell America. I guess we'll give it a Sarge on the technical tiebreaker, only because I think Toilet DNA leads to suspect is a great headline. Although there's also Teletubby breaks into home, so now I need to read this. I've gone down a really bad spiral, guys. Oh Jesus! Also Tampa Bay, Sarasota. What is happening in Florida? All right, that's it for What the Hell America. Let's just skip the next break and go right to Three Assholes Halloween.
All right. Number 3. The guy who gives out a toothbrush to trick-or-treaters. Seriously? What the fuck is wrong with you? Today isn't about you, shitface. You can't suspend your sanctimonious bullshit for one fucking day. All around the U.S., kids are gathered to celebrate dressing up like stuff being given a bag of candy for their efforts. Instead, you decide, fuck you, kid, here's some oral hygiene equipment. Why don't you just give the kid a bag of shaving cream and some deodorant while you're at it? I'll see you soon, motherfucker. When I do, I'm not going to toilet paper your house. I'm going to throw a fucking toilet through your window. Fuck that guy.
But then you'll be out of toilet.
Hate that fucking guy. Always. Why? Toothpaste? A toothbrush? You want to just give me some fucking
It's
math
almost
problems? Why don't you
condescending.
give me some fucking homework, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, it's almost like an insult to you because he assumes you don't know how to keep your own teeth.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, look, if you want to give the kids some candy and a toothbrush, I'd be like, okay, that's a smart play. Smart move. You give a kid just a toothbrush and some toothpaste, that just means you're a fucking asshole.
Instead of giving out the little deodorants and the travel size shaving cream, you just do shampoo. Shampoo and
right?
conditioner.
Just give the kid some body wash while
Here.
you're at it, you fucking asshole.
You fucking stink.
Here's a pen.
Yeah, here's an apple because I hate you.
Or it's like erasers, and then you get the one special needs kid who tries to chew it because he thinks it's gum.
For Halloween, I like to hand out a bowl full of notes. Every kid gets one note, and it just reads, Santa isn't real.
Oh, you also
Scariest part
you
of
also
Halloween.
like to dress up in blackface, but we won't talk about that right now.
It's not a like thing. It was I had to answer the question. It took me 4 hours. I passed. I bought cigarettes and everything.
All right. The kid, so number 2, the kid who's obviously too old to be trick-or-treating. Listen, Skylar, I know you're too fucking old to do this, and you know you're too fucking old to do this. In fact, everybody in the goddamn neighborhood knows you're way too old to be doing this. I get it. You miss Santa. I miss the Easter Bunny, but grow the fuck up. You're too old to be a Power Ranger, you goddamn sad fuck. Get off my porch, or I'm gonna find a use for this shiny new toothbrush old man dipshit gave me last Halloween. And here's a hint. It's not going in your mouth. It's going in your ear. Fucking hate that kid. Fucking swoop haircut and his goddamn Justin Bieber good looks.
Why do you like to stick things in people's ears?
Because I can't put it in their butt because you guys would ruin it.
We'll ruin
It's not
it?
sexual,
Wait,
it's dominance.
Wait, so you're afraid we'll make jokes and ruin the experience of you sticking toothbrushes?
Don't try and analyze
I didn't have
me.
to try.
Hold on.
man.
So you sticking things in people's ears is dominance. Do you also wear high heels and step on people's backs?
Oh god!
Get on all fours and crawl on the floor and now eat this dog food.
Okay, Jordan, this is getting a little too personal. Are you trying to call for help? you tried to warn us that something's going on?
Only if I'm doing
Do you
Halloween
need me to
at
call
Sarge's house.
911?
Only if I'm doing Halloween at Sarge's house, apparently.
I'll tell you what Halloween in Sarge's house involves. All my kids get super fucked up on candy and pass out around 9:30. My wife's already asleep, and then I sit by the fire pit and think about my life for 4 hours.
So
how's that generally paying
So it
out?
sounds like Tuesday.
You know the feeling. All right. So number 3. The guy with a porch light off. All right, old man River, we all know you hate kids because they remind you of your impending doom. But you can't go to the store and buy a fucking bag of candy and leave it in a bowl on your porch? Are you that fucking awful of a human being that you can't leave kids fucking candy? Fuck you, you sad, droopy, cranky, demented reminder of why Florida exists. Everyone in my neighborhood is hoping you'll die soon so somebody moves in on the wrong side of 90. I have no threat for you because there's literally nothing I can do that can threaten you worse than what's already going to happen because you're an old, mean piece of shit who knows way more about prostates than any person should.
Here's the thing with that. You suggest leaving the bowl of candy outside a house. You know kids are going to pour that out, so here's my suggestion. You know those bowls they make that are made for, chips and dip? In the middle part of the bowl is a built-in bowl that you fill with dip. If you're going to leave a bowl outside of your house, use one of those, but fill the middle bowl with piping hot soup. So the kids have to take the candy one at a time. So they try and pour it all out. They're going to get soup and ruin and melt
I
all
like
their
the cut of
candy.
your jib, but we should change it from soot to thermite. So if you move it too much, it just blows up. And then your kid doesn't have hands. And that's what you get for being a greedy little fuck.
I don't think you like kids.
Well, I have 3 of them, so take that as you will.
Yeah, having and liking are two.
So, okay,
different
he made a 100% accurate point there.
Here's a bonus question, okay? This is for you guys. The worst. Who's worse?
I'm ready.
Who's worse? The asshole with the way too scary Halloween costume for handing out candy to small children, or the guy who won't celebrate Halloween because he feels it'll offend Jesus?
offend Jesus
Yeah,
guy.
I was kind of thinking that too. I mean, it's tough because I have children. It's tough for me because I have kids, so I get mad at that guy. Because, like,
Get off my lawn.
Oh my god.
the guy, he shows up at the door and he's dressed like a fucking clown with blood all over his face.
Get off my lawn.
Who the fuck?
It's either that guy or the guy who won't put out Halloween candy because he's afraid that, God will get mad at him. I'm like, listen, your sky fairy does not care whether you put out Halloween candy or not. And honestly, if your God has a problem with people wearing costumes, your God's a fucking dildo.
That guy's problem is everyone around him is miserable because of the way he is, so God already is.
I know, right?
There's nothing.
I'm not a huge fan of...
What's he building
Thanks, buddy.
in there? What the hell is he building in there?
I mean, that's typically what we think about when we see your name. So,
That's the goal, baby. That's the goal. No, it's a Tom Waits recording. I don't want to call it a song because it's definitely not. It's just noises with him going,
He cut down the old pepper tree.
you got to listen to it. It's a great Halloween track.
I don't think
No, you do. You have to listen to it. The best way to listen to it is with someone in your car who's not expecting you to play it. As dark as possible, like as late at night as you possibly can. Just drive down like an old country road and then stop the car in the middle of the road, turn off the car, and then play that track.
Oh, I get it. You can only enjoy it
If you're trying to kill a
wait
hitchhiker,
for the
yes.
right moment.
Yes, if you're trying to kill a hitchhiker,
God damn it.
yeah.
I was saying if you wait the right moment.
Tom Waits.
Oh.
Yep.
Get off the podcast, Dad.
Yeah, man, that's...
Hey, I didn't yell at Jordan to do the track.
How did make Jordan walk the stupid poodle we had that no one liked?
We just want to go. We just want to go play pool. Please don't stop at home.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. Like, every one of my friends was the same way.
Why? How is this?
What is happening?
This isn't helping.
Just enjoy it.
No, I'm not enjoying
I
it.
can't.
It's stupid.
Here, I'll skip ahead for you guys so you can appreciate it.
Is this just ocean noises?
No, it's not necessarily ocean noises.
Oh, god damn it. Why did it have that intro? Oh
Oh boy.
Welcome to the Misguided Musings Juno episode. We're recording this all on hamburger. God damn it.
Ain't got a quarter, got a postage stamp, and a fire like shadow boxing all around the town. Talking with the old man sleeping on the ground. Beside the booting out, suiting out, rooting out, going. Sharing this apartment with a telephone and a fishnet.
The thing about any Tom Waits song is you can't tell if it's a Tom Waits song or it's just a hobo who's sitting out in front of the CVS on Newbury Street trying to collect a little extra change.
Yeah, he literally sounds like every drunk Tommy I've tried to avoid talking to at the bar.
You can't tell if he's gonna start talking to you about chord progression or if he's gonna ask you for change or maybe a sandwich.
Hey, young son, you got a sandwich in your pocket for me? I'll go drink some bourbon.
So we've tricked you on tonight's episode. This has been our Trick or Treat episode number 28. I don't know how we could save this ending for you at all.
Smell like a brewery, looking like a champ.
So we are just going to kind of drop out. We'd like to thank the Gear Network for hosting us for the past year. I don't think that's going to happen much longer.
They love us.
Yeah, everybody but Better Alive Than Dead.
Yeah, they have reason.
I don't.
To be fair, we have not been the kindest.
I mean,
and we won't start now.
Maybe they should release a Halloween episode, maybe the Better Alive Than Dead zombie edition,
or an episode.
Oh boy,
That's a good
we are
day.
terrible people. But
Jesse, did you not want me to send that blackface picture to people on Twitter?
It's not blackface.
Okay, then-
it's just Jesse has a
Okay,
black.
if it's not blackface, then I not sent it.
That'd be great if you didn't send it.
Well, it might
I feel
already
like
be on
that's-
Facebook.
Listen,
I just got a
it
response.
is
It's
alright.
8 100s and then a bunch of the crying smiley faces.
Okay, well, I feel like that picture needs context.
No,
I feel like,
pretty much.
I feel like it's got enough context right now.
Oh, another response. I'm fucking dying.
Well, I mean, you have to admit it's a pretty.
I mean,
good
in her
makeup job.
defense, it was Ivanka Trump, so at least she can appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Misguided Musings. This has been a misguided production, and we apologize for you having to sit through this for the last hour.
You're welcome, and we're sorry.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.
Hey Gear Network listeners, we all know how busy it gets around this time of year. Taking care of your holiday shopping can get stressful. Using Amazon is a quick and easy way to get your holiday shopping done. You can go to gearnetwork.com/Amazon and click on the link to check out all the latest lightning deals that Amazon has to offer, as well as some of my top picks on gifts for everyone on your list. Anything you purchase from Amazon using the gearnetwork.com/Amazon link helps directly support our show, as well as the others offered on Gear Network, keeping us free and independent. Make it easy on yourself this holiday season and get the best deals at gearnetwork.com/Amazon.